Hey YouTube, coming at you with an event coverage because there is a new event tomorrow and a new Pokemon debut. So Tuesday, September 30th, 10 a.m. to Tuesday, October 7th. Oh, full week. Usually they just go Tuesday to Sunday. Kind of just threw me off a little bit that it's actually a Tuesday to Tuesday event. But it is a Dynamax debut Pokemon, Duraludon, and we're going to look at this Pokemon, whether it has any play in GBL, while also checking out the other Pokemon and these global challenges. So global challenges will take place during the event. Work with trainers to compete it. Level 1, additional candy for successfully catching Pokemon with nice grace and excellent throws. Increased chance to receive Candy XL for catching Pokemon. So that's always nice. Level 2, additional 5,000 XP if you're trying to grind to Legend. And level 3, 1 guaranteed rare Candy XL from winning in-person max battles. So very specific on the niche, but I mean, it seems to be max battle focused. So I guess it makes sense that you will get it from winning max battle there. Wild Encounters. It says steel event, but there's some steel and there's some just poisons and some other just kind of random Pokemon in here. So a Diglett, Magnemite, Grimer, a Grimer, Porygon, Aeron, Bronzer, Trubbish, Clink, Axew, Togedemaru, maybe Galarian Mouth, Skarmory, Mawile. Max battles in the 1s, Drillbur, Rookidee, in the 3, Beldum, and in the 4, Duraludon. So that is how you are going to have to get this Pokemon. Complete field research. You may even encounter Dynamax Duraludon if you're lucky. So, you know, the opportunity to get it in the field research is always an option. Free. Give us money. No. Okay. So let's actually just cover the other Pokemon first because there's not many. And I was looking at this list and like, you know, you got some, I was just going through the GBL rankings here and I'm like, okay, Muck, Amok, no. It's like Bronzong, Niche, Togedemaru fallen off the face of the earth when there's so many better electrics like Dedenne. So unfortunately, based on this list, there's not a lot of, sorry, I just kind of threw that. There's not a lot here. You know, there are some Pokemon that have like Magnezone is same thing, not highly ranked in the Open Great League at 321, but Magnezone will have play in limited cups. As a lot of these, like, do you need to get these Pokemon for your everyday GBL? Do you need to get this Pokemon? No, like I don't think there's any Pokemon on this list that you need to get. Now, do you need these Pokemon for limited cups? You know, a Diglett has play as Dugtrio with Mudslap in limited cups. Magnezone, Magneton have play in limited cups. A Grimer on its own, you know, if you don't have a Stunfisk or Drapion, which are just better, it has an option to play there. So it's a lot of these that just like option to play, option to play, option to play, Bronzong, option to play. So do you need to hunt them? No. If you're out and you got your auto catcher on, you got an IV, should save it? Yeah, probably. That's just good practice in general because you never know. You can hold a Sparrow for 22 seasons and then all of a sudden Pharaoh becomes relevant, right? So that's kind of my philosophy when it comes to GBL Pokemon. You keep everything of one, just have, even if it's not the most optimal IV, just keep something just in case it becomes relevant. But if you can get some good IVs, that would be the best. So we do have no Pokemon. Now this Pokemon does have an evolved form. The evolved form, I looked at it in PvPoke and it's not in yet. Now the evolved form wouldn't be, I don't even know if it'd be eligible in the Great League. I don't think it would be. So what we're going to do is look at Duraludon in the Great League. Just go over some of those basic stats and movesets to say like, is it useful? Is it not useful? Why not? So as you can see here, it goes up to level 18 at 4, 13, 14. You know, if you want to put it, that's it. Again, I just put in as those. If you want to optimize it, you can optimize it to become what, like 18 and a half here or something like that. Maximize the root. Yeah, so maximize is 3, 15, 14 at 18. So like it doesn't matter too much what your optimal is here. 137 attack, 113 defense, 105 stamina for 1632 overall. And I know if you've been on this channel long enough, you already know what that means. It means it is pretty much a glass cannon. 113, 105 defense means it probably will not be able to take many charge moves. 137 attack is quite high. So this thing is a glass cannon. So if you're going to be a glass cannon, you need to play in like the shield scenario, right? So it's probably not going to work out well in the one, and I've looked at the one shield and it does not work out, but we'll run it in the shield advantage because that is basically how you have to play these Pokemon. You really can't play them in the one shield even energy because that's not how you play glass cannons. Dragon steel typing. I don't even know if there is, no, Dialga. So let's go to the Master League. Let's look up Dialga because Dialga is a dragon steel typing, and that will give us what our weaknesses and resistances are. So not surprising, dragon steel typing will offer you a lot of strengths here. Only 2 weaknesses, fighting and ground, and then you double resist grass and poison, and then single resist bug, electric, flying, normal, psychic, rock, steel, and water. So absolutely fantastic. Yes, there are Primeapes and Annihilates of fighters in the Great League, and of course Marowak is one of the safest ground Pokemon, and there's a couple other ground Pokemon like Clodsire and stuff. But there is a lot of everything else that I just mentioned. You know, you got your more flyers this season. You got your Dedennes everywhere is electric. You still have some normal typings out there. You got rocks that got buffed. You got your water Pokemon that have been meta since season 1. You got your steel types and like Scizor and stuff. A lot of resistances. So right off the bat, being a glass cannon, like I don't love glass cannons, but they have play if you play them properly, which you would need to do in a shield advantage. And then the typing is fantastic, right? That Dragon Steel seems to have, for the weaknesses to resistances ratio, is fantastic. So that leaves you with what is your moveset to make this useful or not. And the fast moves, you can't see them, are Dragon Tail and Metal Claw. So let's just bring up the moves just here so you can just see what they mean. Dragon Tail and Metal Claw. You can see Metal Claw is an absolutely terrible 2.5 damage per turn, 3 energy per turn, 3.5 energy. Why would you use that when you can use a newly buffed 3 damage per turn, 4 energy per turn move? So Dragon Tail, 3 turn move, which is not optimal, but you will get same type attack bonus on this, so that 3 damage will become 3.6 damage here. So yeah. So your charge moves are then Dragon Claw, Flash Cannon, and Hyper Beam, which kind of limits you. So, and in fact, I'm more worried about Dragon Claw, Hyper Beam, and Flash Cannon. And what you can see right off the bat, the big issue with this Pokemon, you are Glass Cannon, which means that one, you need shields, and 2, you need to get to these charge moves at a good speed. And what we have here are 3 moves that in and of themselves are not that optimal for damage per energy. 1.6, 1.57, 1.87 is not bad, but 50 for 1.6 damage per, 70 for 1.57, and then 80 for 1.87. Like, these are not great, right? You do get same type attack bonus on this, so the damage will increase by 20% here, which will increase your damage per energy, but just really slow on the charge moves. So, you know, in the one shield scenario, it obviously runs like crap. 8 and 34 record for a 333 average, losing to a crap ton of things, even though you have all the resistances. But again, you don't really care about what this looks like in this shield scenario. You want to see the 0, 1, and 1, 2, because that is how you would use it. So in the 0, 1 shield scenario, you have a 20 and 13 with a 631 average. So the 29 and 13. I was about to say 2013 is not that good for 631, but 29 and 13, yes. I swear my eyes are not that bad yet. 29 and 13 with a 631 average. Still losing to Pokemon, Steel Pokemon, or should not be Steel Fairy Pokemon, resisting your main moves there. Actually, they would resist all moves. Yeah, Dragon and Steel would be resist, and Hyper Beam, actually normal, would all be resisted on Steel. So not surprising that your big losses are going to come to the Steel Pokemon there, and a couple just other Pokemon that are just, I guess, stronger, like Jellicent. Kind of interesting. And in the 1v2, I'm guessing your average goes down because I bet my guess is you get taken out faster. Yeah, 27-15 with a 542. And that should not be surprising, right? When you are such a glass cannon and your opponent is shields down and you can shield one of theirs move, and you have not great moves, but enough that with the fast move damage and with the charge move damage and your attack damage shields down, you're going to probably one-shot a decent amount of things. Whereas if you are slow to the charge move, and even with a shield advantage, if your other opponent's like spamming enough or chipping you enough with their fast move, it's not surprising that you are now losing more. So it's still A lot of the other ones now, maybe some of these fairy Pokemon. I mean, you're going to lose to fairy anyways because your other moves are resisted. Trying to think of where's the sort of unique ones. You know what? Like all these losses are not surprising, right? Fairy is resisting stuff. Ground hits super effective. Fighting hits super effective. Fairy resists. Flying is actually only neutral, but maybe Flame Charge just kind of ramps up there on the Shadow. So not bad. Got some wins there, but again, you need energy. You need shields with this Pokemon. So can you get this and is it usable? Yeah, like the resistances alone, I think make it usable in the shield advantage scenario. So I would cover, you got to try and build a team that would cover mainly these weaknesses. You can cover your direct weaknesses in ground and fighting. While at the same time, I would also cover fairy weakness that resists your main fast and charge move. And I would also cover steel that resists every single one of your moves. So that is how I would build a teammate around this Pokemon if you were going to build it. But it doesn't seem like anything that you need right away. I would not be surprised that if the rankings go out, this will be in the, especially when, and you know what, this is gonna be like at rank like 800 because in the what PV Poke's rankings are in the one shield even energy scenario, and it had an 833 with a 333 average. So it's gonna be like a 900 ranked or whatever, which is fine. But again, you don't use these glass cannons in those shield scenarios. You use them with the shield advantage. So you can get one. I think that this Pokemon probably just needs a better, I don't even mind the Dragon Claw. You know, it takes 15, 12, 12, 12. That's not terrible. What's terrible is the Flash Cannon and the Hyper Beam, because Flash Cannon takes 18 to get to here, Hyper Beam being 21. Really, you need a second. What would make this Pokemon strong? Again, I know nothing about the main series games. What would make this Pokemon strong is having, I'm fine with Dragon Tail, I'm fine with Dragon Claw. You need a second move that is quicker and gives you some coverage mostly for steals. So if you had, again, I have no idea what the secondary moves are, but if you had a quicker than 50 energy move, like a 40, ideal 40, but if even 45, that can give you some coverage for maybe fairies or steals, I think that would make this Pokemon much better, and it would play a lot better. But for right now, it's out there. You might want to get it. Sure, you never know with the move updates what happens, and go from there. So that's a Pokemon League turnover tomorrow. So stay tuned for, you know, we're just gonna do the limited cup. I think it's Ultra League and I think it's Jungle Cup tomorrow. So we'll do top teams for Jungle Cup. I'm not even gonna pretend to do top teams for Ultra League. I don't play it enough. No one else plays it, so not no one else, but not a lot of people play it. So we're just gonna skip the team. We're gonna skip the top teams for that. So we'll just do one tomorrow with the limited cup. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.